Yo, Sonic! Sonic! Man, stay off the light speed!
My bad.
I am a huge Sonic fan, that much is known. In fact, the start of this whole YouTube channel was dedicated to me talking about Sonic. I've played on the mainline games, and I've made my opinions about them back in 2016, but it's been 5 years since I've made those videos. Have my opinions about the Sonic franchise changed over the years? Well, a little bit. I thought it'd be fun, and for Sonic's anniversary, we will go over the mainline Sonic games and rank them in order from worst to best. So I'm going to go over each mainline console game, give my quick thoughts on them, and move on. I'm not going over any of the handheld titles or any of the spin-offs here, because there's a lot of game in this video, and this video is long enough as it is, and those games deserve their own video too. But I will be talking about a few notable spin-offs. So, which games are bad, which games are good, which Sonic games should you play? I will answer that in this video here. But before we start the list, make sure you go fast and hit the subscribe button, and the bell as well for notifications on future videos. And with that out of the way, let's begin.
All those pieces are gonna come crashing down on us!
Yeah! I mean, oh, that's terrible.
There's a debate in the Sonic fandom about which game is worse, Sonic Boom: The Rise of Lyric or Sonic 06. Both games are terrible, but I think Boom is the worst of the two. Why? For one, the production had a lot of behind-the-scenes drama, with an engine that didn't work on the Wii U, with a team that clearly didn't have the experience or support to make a major AAA game. Keep that in mind, we'll be coming back to a lot of troubled productions of Sonic in the future. 2. The idea to launch a new Sonic multimedia project at a time when the Sonic series was still culturally relevant seemed misguided, to say the least. Despite the game's broken launch, Sonic Boom did get a patch that substantially fixed things. So the game went from borderline broken to just plain boring. You can't even make fun of the gameplay anymore. At least with Sonic 06 you can laugh at the gameplay. Ultimately, Boom was just that, a boom of a drunken shit. At the very least the cartoon was good, and they canceled that and the comic. What was the point of the Boom series again?
We know that fun surprises are important in Sonic games. That's why we made it so whenever you load into a level, there's now a 1 in 5 chance malware will be injected into your computer and destroy your PC.
Let's get this out of the way. This game is come shooting out of an echidna's genitals onto an N-Gage. Sonic 06 is a broken piece of shit. Every play session is a game of chance. As in, it's a chance if your game fucks out and you have to start over somewhere because your game just decided to not work, then you have to reset the console and slog through a bunch of really long loading screens. The whole game feels like it's being held together by dental floss, and it's a crapshoot if the game will even work. Beyond the borderline broken gameplay, the plot is idiotic with people running around with their heads cut off. The voice acting is bad. That said, Mike Pollock and Dan Green do steal the show. The main playable characters look like living puppets and the humans are pure nightmare fuel. The only positives I could say is that Shadow and Blaze are pretty badass, and the music is dynamite. I've noticed that there is a bit of an unironic fanbase building for this game up on Twitter, to which I say,
what's wrong with you?
You're the reason why people make fun of Sonic fans online. Also, just some piece of advice for people looking to start YouTube content. If you're thinking of making a long Sonic 06 review saying, gee, this game sucks guys, just don't. Just fucking don't. You have nothing new to add to the conversation. Sonic 06 is done, fucking done. That said, if I did have a chance to remake one of the games in the franchise, I would actually go with Sonic 06. Why? I think there is a solid game in here somewhere, and if the development wasn't a hot mess, Sonic 06 could have been great, or at the very least, decent. I don't think Sonic 06 will ever get an official remake, but hey, man can dream. Even though I loathe Sonic 06, I would much rather play Sonic 06 again than ever play Skyward Sword ever again. That game was trash! I played these games when they first came out, and I was pretty hyped for them at first, but the hype was short-lived. While I feel like Sonic Boom and 06 are unplayable messes, Sonic 4 is playable but boring. The level designs are uninspired, and they tried way too hard to be like the Genesis games without the magic that the Genesis games had. And I feel like that's the point of Sonic 4. They were trying to recapture that Genesis magic, but without the talent that made those games so memorable. The release of Sonic Mania also made the Sonic 4 duology irrelevant, so there's little reason to check out these two titles other than pure curiosity.
What? I'm making fucking mac and cheese, and nobody can stop
I really wanted to like Shadow the Hedgehog. He is the coolest Sonic character in my opinion, and a game where you're playing as Shadow running around blasting things and cruising around sounds like a winning formula. When the game is just blasting shit, the game is a total rush. But when you have to collect things or choose a path, it becomes annoying. The stage designs were not made for exploration. Also, the vehicle's handled for shit. And you are out of your goddamn mind if you think I'm going through all those paths for the true ending. It's a shame that Shadow the Hedgehog didn't live up to expectations, because I feel like Shadow deserves something more.
Infinite is a mewing kitten in a world where darkness and terror knock daily on your door. He's just a cute ball of fluff. I am the one who knocks.
Much like Sonic 4, I was pretty hyped for Forces before launch. Unfortunately for this title, it had the tough job of following up the critical and commercial success of Sonic Mania, and Forces didn't really live up to expectations. At its core, it plays a lot like Generations and Colors, which isn't a bad thing. It just feels like something got lost in the transition to the Hedgehog 2 engine. It feels heavier and not as tight gameplay-wise as those two titles, and the short levels and any lack of difficulty only exacerbated the issues. The plot seems rushed, a lot of ideas didn't get explained, and the idea of having Eggman take over the world with clones of various Sonic baddies didn't get the payoff you would want. That said, it does have its merits. The music is fantastic, some of the stages are really fun to replay, Shadow got his own free DLC expansion campaign, and the weird OC maker actually turned out pretty well. It's drip or drown, and bitch, I'm raining. Still, Forces just feels incomplete, like there was issues behind the scenes, and that's what happened. According to Iizuka on the back of the Forces CD, the making of Forces was not smooth. Many blame the current Sonic series producer, Tezuka Iizuka, for Forces issues, but he was only the executive producer, as he was heavily involved with Mania's production at the time. As a result, other people at Sonic Team had to pick up the slack. There was plenty of things that changed during development, and the future of the project was even called into question. Additionally, the game's engine was also being made at the same time as the game itself, resulting in a lot of trial and error. While the development of Forces wasn't as disastrous as other titles such as Sonic 06 or Boom, it shows in the final product that it could have been something greater. At the end of the day, Forces to me is a perfectly average game. While the highs aren't as high as other Sonic greats, the lows aren't particularly experience ruining. It's only 3 hours long anyway, and I know many of you are doing shit with your free time, so hey, go give Sonic Forces a try. Going from Forces to 3D Blast is a huge jump in quality. Playing this title actually brings back a lot of vivid memories for me. I remember being in elementary school, chilling on a beanbag chair, slamming Pringles, and playing 3D Blast on the GameCube. You see, I had played all the 2D games at that point bar CD, but I never played 3D Blast until a bit later. The graphics blew me away. I was surprised that game looked this good was on the Genesis, but I should be smitten for even doubting the power of the Sega Genesis. As for the game itself, it's not my thing. It always felt a bit too slippery, and I have yet to play an isometric game that wasn't annoying. 3D Blast has the elements of a great game with fantastic music, pretty fun levels, amazing graphics, and overall a very solid presentation, but the gameplay just isn't there. Overall, it's alright.
32X, and it's so realistic, man, you know? Anyway, I've been getting pounded. I thought I should get my head checked out, make sure there's no damage, man.
Knuckles Chaotix is a game that I played on a 32X emulator back in high school. I always thought this title was fun. While unrefined, the rubber banding stretching physics were fun to mess around with. The characters were all pretty fun to play with too. Granted, Charmy was pretty broken because he could just fly around, especially if he grabbed heavy and just plowed through everything, and that was very satisfying. And the music was fantastic. That's kind of redundant to say that a Sonic game has great music, but hey, this game has amazing music. That said, the level design just wasn't up to par with the Genesis standards. You go through each level 5 times, and there really isn't any unique gimmick other than the carnival level where you have to turn on the lights to count the level as complete. It gets a bit boring after a while, but still, as an emulated game back in high school, I had fun with it, and it's worth owning if you have a 32X. Half the fun of owning the 32X is just plugging in the damn thing so you can play Virtual Racing Deluxe. Now that is an amazing title.
Hedgehog, and now you can take him around the world. But as the sun sets,
Sonic Unleashed had the fortune of following up Sonic 06. You could transplant the head of Chris Frosniak onto Scott the Woz's body and do a cover album of Beach Boy tunes with them playing a kazoo, and it would compare better to Sonic 06. That doesn't make any sense, but the point is this game is leagues better than Sonic 06. If you don't know, Sonic Unleashed is broken up into two parts: the daytime stages where you're Sonic, and the night levels where you're the werehog beating up dudes. The daytime levels are awesome, they're really fast, they're such a blast to play, and it almost feels like a racing game at points. I find myself going back to the daytime levels every now and again just because you do get such an adrenaline rush from playing them. The nighttime levels, on the other hand, are a bit clunky. It's not the worst beat 'em up in the world, but it's pretty clumsy and not as fluid as you would want in a Sonic game. Granted, I wasn't expecting Ninja Gaiden levels of depth here, but hey, I could have wanted something better. To me, Sonic Unleashed is a bit of a mixed bag. I think half of the game is amazing, but I think the other half is just kind of meh and didn't really live up to its true potential. I've said this before and I'll say it again. I think a Sonic beat 'em up with Knuckles doing this would have been the shit. I've noticed in recent years, a lot of people have been coming around to this title really wanting to get a true remaster or a port for modern systems, and I can totally understand why. It came out on every major platform at the time, and it got a lot of young people into Sonic the Hedgehog back in the day. I can see why people really like it, some even saying that it's their favorite Sonic title, but for me, it just isn't my favorite. Still, not a bad game at all.
You waiting for Nintendo to make one? You have seen the games, right? Wrong answer, man. Show 'em!
Sonic is going to take you back to the past to play the shitty games that suck ass. I've always felt weird about Sonic CD. I can never decide if I really like it or if I'm kind of meh on it. For one, the levels are giant and there are 4 versions of each act, so you get a ton of gameplay here. On the flip side, trying to go back to the past to make a good future could be annoying in certain levels. However, the stages for the most part do lend themselves to some speedy sections, so when I play through this game just going as fast as possible, I have a ton of fun. And I guess that's CD's strongest point. It's a more customizable Sonic experience. You can explore each stage and see all the secrets, or just plow through like you've got Strong Zero and Taco Bell runs. Personally, I prefer the latter, but that's me every Friday night in the Booyah. After a line of questionable releases, Sonic Team finally got their act together with Sonic Colors. They took the good elements from Unleashed and made a full game out of it. Gone are the awkward beat 'em up sections, and the end result is a very fun ride with a ton of charm, replayability, and fun Wisp powers. While overall my opinion of Colors is that it's a really solid game, my opinion has gone negative over the years. Not horribly negative, like I said, I still think the game is amazing and worth checking out, but I don't feel like it's as good as I remember it to be. I think it might be due to some of the more puzzle-based platforming sections that seem a bit slow and out of place here. And some of the mechanics from Unleashed were changed here, like how sidestepping and drifting were changed, and they don't feel quite as intuitive as they did in that title. When I compare Unleashed and Colors, they actually do have a lot of DNA in common. While I think Unleashed's day stages are better than Sonic Colors' stages, I find Colors to be an overall better product. Regardless though, I do feel like Sonic Colors is a great game, and you really need to play it if you are a Sonic fan. Also Sega, when you port a Wii game to the newer platforms, make sure the Wii version isn't the best version to play in 2021. Similar to Unleashed, Heroes is a good game that a lot of kids played back in the day. In fact, I still have my GameCube copy from when I was a kid back at my parents' house in America. I've played Heroes to death and I really like it. It felt refreshing after the dark duology of Adventure 1 and 2. The colors are vibrant, the music is delightful, and you get all these characters to play as. My main issue was the combat being a bit floaty for what you needed, And then there's the Chaotix campaign. These linear levels do not lend themselves to collectathons or exploration. In general, the levels are a bit too one-dimensional for my taste, and this was an issue I had in Sonic Adventure 2, and it only got worse in Shadow the Hedgehog. I mentioned it in my Sonic Iceberg video, which you should totally watch. Heroes didn't have the best development cycle. Sonic Team was playing around with new tech, and originally the game worked great on Xbox and GameCube. However, Sony wanted Sonic, to the point where Sony would deny Sega any favors if Heroes did not make it to PS2. Given how well the PS2 sold and how many of Sega's hits were on the PS2 during this era, it was an offer they could not refuse. The result was having to make compromises to get the game to run on PS2. Additionally, there were only 2 level designers who both got sick, and current series producer Takashi Iizuka had to pick up the slack. The end result was a game that, while not bad, could have been so much more. Regardless, I do think Heroes is very solid and definitely worthy of being in your collection. Just avoid the PS2 version.
Come on!
We all had to start from somewhere, and Sonic 1 was certainly a start. While the game was marketed about its speed, Sonic 1 is just a speedier platformer with a lot of slow sections and waiting around for things to move. Hey, you can't just release a new IP and expect perfection right away. Zelda 1 on the NES was in the same boat. Still, I love this game. I have it memorized and I play it every so often, probably because I have it in 8 different ways. Chances are it's in your collection in some form. So hey, why not just play the game? I've covered Adventure 2 in its own video back in 2019, so if you want more of a detailed video, go watch that. But this is 2021. Has my opinion on this game changed? A little bit. I like Adventure 2. Quite a bit, actually. It is a flawed game, with some crap level design, shitty audio mixing, and some bizarre controls. However, a flawed game doesn't always mean a bad game if the good outweighs it. And that's how I feel about Adventure 1. The highs of this title are some of the highest in all of gaming, be it blasting through things as Eggman, or cruising through City Escape as Sonic, or raising Chao. Remember kids, if you can't raise a Chao, you can't raise a child. Adventure 2, taken as a whole, is an awesome ride. And if anybody tells you it sucks, you can tell them officially that they have a horrible opinion, and are wrong. One of the games I was actually really excited to play on the Wii U was Sonic Lost World. I had already played the 3DS version, which isn't the best game, but I liked it well enough to clear it. Lost World on the Wii U is what I wanted from a Sonic game. The speed was more controlled, you have parkour to mess around with, and a pretty sizable challenge. Quite a bit more difficult than the previous games like Unleashed or Colors, to be honest with you. I think the reason why this title got a lot of heat was because it isn't as easy to get into. You see, Sonic at its core is a very simple game to go into. You just hold the button, you move fast, you jump, and you have fun. Sonic Lost World has a learning curve, and I don't think a lot of people wanted to sit down and actually learn the controls and intricacies of the movement options in this title, which is a shame because I think Sonic handles perfectly in this game. A lot of the levels are really fun to play with, and this Zelda DLC level shows how Sonic can work in an open 3D world. Look, if you have a Wii U or if you have the PC, give Sonic Lost World a chance. In my opinion, it's one of the most underrated, if not the most underrated Sonic game, and I think you might like it if you give it some time.
Go get it from the back.
Whoa! Sega!
With Sonic Mania, Sega basically said, hey, if you guys are so smart, then you make a Sonic game. So they did. Mania was awesome. If you're ever lost in your creative process, try going back to basics. That was the mentality behind Sonic Mania, and it shows. Between the fantastic art, gameplay, and music, everything is lovingly crafted to play like Sonic should back in the day. Some of the bosses can be kind of a pain, but that's neither here nor there. I really like what the fans did here with Mania, and I really wish Sonic Team could get their act together and make a proper Sonic game. I've noticed my enjoyment for this title going down in recent years, probably because of everyone online saying that this was the only good Sonic game in years, when, from my personal experience at least, I found a lot of enjoyment in other contemporary Sonic titles. Still, Mania is excellent, and I'm hoping the team behind Mania gets a chance to make a new title. I really hope they'll do a new Shinobi game next. Shinobi was awesome. Or Phantasy Star.
This makes me feel like a rat. Pinball.
I might be biased here. Okay, I'm hella biased, but this is my list and I can do what I want, and what I want is to put Adventure 1 super high up. This game means so much to me. I played it way back in the day. I think I was 6 or 7 when this game dropped, and this is the game that made me fall in love with gaming. I think we all have that game that awakens some sort of deep response from you as a kid, and for me, that was Adventure 1. I used to play this game every summer to completion, and each time I had a fantastic time. To me, Adventure 1, much like 2, is a very flawed game, but the high points are so high that I can forgive the shortcomings of this title. And maybe other than Lost World, I find that Sonic and his friends handle extremely well in this title. And much like Adventure 2, I also gave this game a more in-depth review a while back, so I'll just say for now, Adventure 1 is a wonderful game. Now, only if Sega could port the game and do a good job of it. Sonic 1 was a good start. 2 was a sign that Sonic is here to stay. Bigger and badder levels, brighter colors, and brilliant music, and Tails, who isn't in this footage because he always gets in the way. That's punishment for 2 babies, 1 fox, you sick fuck. Everything Sonic 1 did, Sonic 2 does better, and many will cite this as their favorite Sonic title, and for good reason. Personally, I would love to see a version of Sonic 2 that has all the cut content in it. Now that would be tits. Remember what I said about Sonic 2? I don't. My mind is too fried from alcohol and metal concerts. But the point is, Sonic 3 and Knuckles is awesome. You take all the good points of Sonic 2 and just dial it up to 11. And in my opinion, this is one of the most graphically intensive Genesis games. In general, a lot of late release Genesis titles like, say, Phantasy Star 4 or Thunder Force 4 really push that system to the limits, and it shows. And it's no coincidence that those 3 titles are some of the best Genesis has to offer, if not some of the greatest games of all time. There's not much I can say here about Sonic 3 and Knuckles that I didn't say about Sonic 2 or Sonic Mania. For me, this is the 2D Sonic formula perfected. No matter how many times I go back to this title, I always find something new, and it will keep you busy for days on end. I am extremely happy that this game is getting a wider port for modern consoles, because more people really need to play Sonic 3 and Knuckles. Is this a hot take? Good. Sonic Generations is the best Sonic game. It's a celebration of everything we love about the franchise. Sonic Team put so much care into this title, and it shows with all the continuity nods and attention to detail in each stage. If I had this game when I was a kid, I would have flipped my shit. Every time you play one of the nostalgic stages, you get hit with a wave of euphoria, bringing you back to simpler times, and now you're playing them in HD, and it's awesome. The boost formula introduced in Unleashed is perfected here, and I really love the level designs, and I really think that 2D Sonic, the classic Sonic, handles so well here. And of course, the music is dope as hell. I played the hell out of Generations on my PS3, I played the hell out of it on my 3DS, and if Sega wises up and makes a proper port to HD systems, I will play the hell out of it on my Switch too. Generations is a reminder of why we love Sonic, and why Sonic is such a big franchise to this very day, and yeah, the point is, I love Sonic. So that is every Sonic game ranked from worst to best, at least the platformers. For me, I grew up with all these games, I had a ton of fun playing them again. It brought me back to some very important times in my life when it was just me, Sonic, and hanging out and gaming all day. And what I find interesting about the Sonic series is that each game is so different and the quality does vary a lot. But I feel like all these games, for the most part, do have some qualities that will appeal to you, like, hey, I like this game because of this reason, I like this game more because of this reason. So there's a lot of content in the Sonic franchise, and I do recommend going into the series. Don't let the internet and naysayers deter you from this amazing franchise, because Sonic is awesome. If I haven't made that clear by now, you should definitely be playing some Sonic the Hedgehog, though I might be a bit biased here. Though if you are new to the franchise and you want like a little crash course on what to play, I recommend playing Sonic 2, 3 and Knuckles, Mania, both Adventure 1 and Adventure 2, and Generations. And have fun, and you gotta go fast. Also, I like the way my hair looks right now. It looks pretty badass for this more wild look. Anyway guys, that does it for this video, so thank you for watching. What's your favorite Sonic games? Let me know down there in the comments. And if you have any suggestions for future videos, let me know down there in the comments too. And while you're down there, make sure you subscribe to the channel and hit the bell as well for notifications on future videos. Hit me up on the social media, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok at ZMangs. And with that, I sign up for now, and we'll see you on the next video. Later, everybody. Take care.